names, power, secrets, and a network that touched presidents, billionaires, royalty, and Hollywood, all hidden behind sealed court documents until now. The Epstein files are being ripped open, revealing flight logs, depositions, private meetings, late-night visits, and unsealed testimonies naming some of the most influential people on Earth. Why were these documents hidden? Why are so many names appearing? And what's still sealed? Tonight, we break down the Epstein files like never before. Brace yourself. This goes deeper than you think. After years of rumors, redactions, and secrecy, the Epstein files are finally being exposed, layer by layer. Inside these documents are names, testimonies, and connections the world was never meant to see. Today, we analyze everything major media outlets have reported, from unsealed depositions and flight logs to visitor logs and leaked emails. The term Epstein files refers to unsealed court documents from the Ghislaine Maxwell case, sworn depositions, interviews, pilot flight logs, and thousands of pages collected by prosecutors and journalists. These documents show who met Epstein, who emailed him, who visited him, who flew with him, and who is referenced in testimonies. Being named does not mean guilt, but it does reveal Epstein's shocking reach across politics, science, finance, and entertainment. Prince Andrew's name appears prominently in testimonies reported by BBC, CNN, and The Guardian. Accuser Virginia Giuffre referenced him in sworn statements. Andrew denied the allegations, but the association triggered a massive royal scandal, costing him public roles and reputation. Bill Clinton appears in Epstein's flight logs, reported by CNN, AP, and NYT. He flew multiple times in the early 2000s for charity-related trips. Clinton denied wrongdoing and stated he never visited Epstein's island. Donald Trump appeared socially with Epstein in the 1990s and early 2000s. The Washington Post reported that Trump acknowledged knowing him but later distanced himself, stating he was not a fan and banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. Alan Dershowitz's name appears repeatedly in depositions and motions. He strongly denied allegations and launched counter-lawsuits. BBC, NPR, and CNN documented his appearances in unsealed records. Billionaire Leon Black had financial ties to Epstein, including advisory payments reported by Reuters and Wall Street Journal. Black stated these were legitimate financial services unrelated to criminal activity. Les Wexner, founder of Victoria's Secret, long had Epstein as a financial advisor. NYT and Wall Street Journal reported Epstein had unusual financial control over Wexner's assets before ties were cut. Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak was photographed entering Epstein's NYC townhouse, reported by AP. Barak stated all interactions were professional and related to investments. Glenn Dubin and Eva Dubin appeared in testimonies and logs reported by AP and Bloomberg. They denied wrongdoing and maintained their interactions with Epstein were unrelated to allegations. The Black Book, not a client list, but a contact list containing thousands of names, addresses, and phone numbers. It shows the dizzying heights of Epstein's social engineering. We're talking Nobel laureates, tech billionaires like Peter Thiel, and titans of finance. The New York arrest in 2019 was supposed to be the end of the mystery. The charges were devastating. Epstein was denied bail. The world waited for the names he would drop at trial. The file was ready to blow up the entire world order. August 10, 2019. The Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. Just after 6:30 in the morning, corrections officers discovered Jeffrey Epstein unresponsive in his cell. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, but shortly after arrival, he was pronounced dead. The official ruling, suicide by hanging. Epstein had been awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges, a case that had already captured global attention and raised difficult questions about power, influence, and accountability. But his death didn't end the story. In fact, it ignited a firestorm. Broken procedures inside the facility, guards who fell asleep, cameras that failed, and a system that seemed unprepared for one of the most high-profile inmates in the country. In the days that followed, investigations were launched, statements were issued, and controversy erupted worldwide. Epstein's death became one of the most debated and scrutinized moments of the decade, sparking conversations that continue to this day. The file implicates not just Epstein, but the system around him. The names who were set to be deposed, the names whose reputations were seconds away from ruin. They are the beneficiaries of the chaos. The fact that no one in the federal system was held criminally accountable for the death security failures is a damning part of the file. The file is still being unsealed, one tranche at a time. The public outcry has forced names like Donald Trump and Bill Clinton back into the spotlight, not as criminal figures, but as confirmed associates. This is the legacy of the Epstein file, not just a story of a single monster, but a blueprint for how wealth protects the powerful and silences the victims. The question is not who is on the list, but who made sure the list would never be fully read. Don't let this file be forgotten. Hit that like and subscribe button. What name do you think is the key to this entire puzzle? Tell us in the comments.